At the Horseman Way, with our herd of horses, we coach conscious business leaders to align strategies for peak performance. Every interaction with horses is a lesson in negotiation and leadership. One learns to lead with power and grace.
It's a very subtle way of learning leadership lessons. Not the other mechanisms I saw, some are very clear on the face, some are loud ways of understanding leadership lessons. But this one was very subtle, deep, touching the heart, because everything we do in this set of actions, activities we did to the day was bringing your personal self out there, because the animal doesn't know your mask, what you put up, because they don't care what you are. I might have just said my designation just now. The horse doesn't care. It sees my inner self as I interact. So I think your all masks are off, and then you are coming across as a true self. And then how did you develop the bond as an individual to individual, a person to person, a living being to a living being, right? So that defined the whole equation, and that's the biggest takeaway, right? Leading from behind was a big, lesson or insight which I got, because leading from behind is something we talk about, but we haven't really experienced it. And when we did that exercise with the horse today, we realized that it takes a very different set of skills to lead from behind, and the lessons learned, picked up from them were very different, right? And also we were also put in some other exercises where as a team we need to interact with the horses and get things doing, get our own team thing through. So again, a lot of teamwork, how the team's interactions amongst themselves will define our interaction with an external, in this case the horse, is also a learning, right? How we come across as a team, how the others are seeing us, and how then we start sending that vibe, as Gaurav said, vibe builds a tribe. So how we actually pass that energy around and then build our tribe. I think it's a great takeaway from for me personally. Empathy is something which really struck with me, that the empathy in which you kind of operate with others, I think that is a big takeaway. There are many lessons, but I would maybe close with that. A great experience, and first time I went to this and I loved it. Thanks to Gaurav and the entire team for organizing this. I'll recommend this to a lot of my colleagues. I'm sure people will have their own takeaways in their own way and be better humans after this program. Thank you.
While I entered into the workshop, I was completely blank, without any expectations as such. But as the day progressed and now today we are end of the session, I must say this is one of my best experience in my 2+ decade of the career. Over here, closer to the nature, closer to the animals, I think we learned a lot. Learning about the basics of life, learning about how empathy, how maybe smaller as element and aspects of life makes a huge impact internally and then externally. How these small things make a collaborative and much larger workspace positive. I think that's for me as a takeaway. Wonderful workshop, great work by Gaurav and team. Thank you very much, and kudos to the team over here.
I just had a wonderful day today at the horse farm, going through this training. I was telling Gaurav and Kishore, actually this is one of the most unique and fulfilling training programs we've attended. Normally in a typical corporate training setup, you're sitting inside a AC room and it's indoors and you go through the motions. But just to be in this wonderful ambience amidst nature, fresh air was great. And of course, the very unique, design of working with horses to create self-awareness, team effectiveness. I mean, your own you start in a very tentative way with animals. 3 hours down the line, you bonded so much with them that you're ready to actually run with them blindfolded. And in the process, learn so much about yourself, learn so much about the team dynamics, and also about this beautiful beast which we have here, right? Overall, a very fulfilling experience, very enjoyable, and I go back with a lot of learnings, and thank you so much.
I had a unique opportunity to be part of an experiential learning with horses at the Horseman Way, Pune today. It reinforced us to bring the human to life as part of our everyday leadership experience. What also stood out the most was the direction and the guidance one needs to provide as a leader through empathy. The best part of the entire exercise with the horses was to trust the process. The more we connect with the horses, and in the corporate context, our own employees and team members, it's directly proportionate to the outcome that we bring. A memorable day well spent. Thanks to Gaurav and team for this unique experience.
I'm so glad that we could make it happen now after almost 6 to 7 months. To be fair, in the starting, I was skeptical, what you can do with the horses, but thank God we went with the flow and we came in here. The best part, it's an opportunity to come close to the nature. From the morning to the evening, the connect that we felt was really unfathomable, I would say. And if I look at my own self, connecting it back to who am I, that distance between the knowledge that I had of myself from the morning to now seems to be much better. So congratulations to Gaurav for doing this, and I'm sure more teams are coming back here for this. Thank you so much.
Basically, when I come to the program, even before coming, I had a doubt in my mind whether how it will go. Basically, I am a hygiene freak fellow, so I was doubtful whether touch the horse, go with it, or whether even skip this program. That was my mind. Even the starting in the morning, I started with a lot of self-doubt, going close to that, and all my earlier reading of being away from animals, all that was cautioning me, right? But thanks to Gaurav and team, Francis, we become very closer to the animals on that day, and excellent learnings, lot of learning, lot of reality stuff we picked up, right? And the synergy, bonding, team, trust, all that kind of we picked up, the importance of all that, right? To do better in the work life, this program really helps.
It's a refreshingly different training program, learning on the field with horses and outside the classroom. It starts with seeking to understand before being understood. How do you create empathy? How do you create trust? And how do you work through a process? There are many lessons from here that can be translated to the corporate, including how you can build better synchrony, better coordination with the team and with the leadership. I would definitely recommend it for every team that is trying to come together and align their energies. Thank you.
So I've of course come with almost 19 years of work experience. And today when I was told that we're going to do this workshop with horses, I didn't really come with too much expectations, except that we'll enjoy ourselves. But I must say, at the end of the day, I think I've thoroughly enjoyed myself. Felt quite energized because this is out in the open with the animals, with nature. And I think learned a lot of, reiteration of a lot of life lessons, and of course, as maybe applicable in corporate life. So one of the really unique elements of this workshop has been that usually you're sitting in four walls, etc., and you're also sort of looking at other things with your mobile. I think this workshop, it was really different and really nice, right? The way the elements and the life lessons, like I said, were weaved into the whole practical training in the ground was quite transformational in that sense, and quite enjoyable. And you didn't really have the time to think about much else. You were in the moment, and I think so that's something that I would really recommend to people whom I know, and quite different because you get a little jaded going into trainings, etc. after 18-19 years of corporate life. So I think this is very different in that sense, and I would definitely recommend to people. So as far as this workshop goes, I think I came in start of the day where I was there was this feeling of you felt a little scared with the horses, how they're going to react, etc. But I think at the end of the day, you were so comfortable, and how you sort of build the rapport with the horse, ability to trust, have respect for the horse, and that whole empathy and connection, and how do you kind of make the horse go in a certain direction that you would want, understanding, building that level of trust. I think that's really something that I will go back with. And I think a lot of reflection, because there's a lot of things that were weaved into the training. I think those are things that you personally will kind of think and kind of give some thought to as you go back.
Today I had the fantastic opportunity to come to Pune at the Horseman Way, and this is something which I would like to really thank Gaurav, who has come up with this concept and idea as to how the horses are the analogy to the human behavior, and how we can prey, the predator as well as the prey, both can coexist. It's a beautiful stud farm, and it has been a fun and frolic day. Most of the times we focus on the outcomes rather than the process. So the interactions which we had with the horses, the rapport building, that has actually, on a personal level has asked me or taken me. I have been going around for sales and different profiles in the banking space, being an authoritarian way. But what is the empathetic way? To come down a notch, try and understand. The most critical aspect which I found today was when to let go and when to hold on to things. That's the synchronization actually which propels whether to pull at what time or push the team or the people around you. It's not necessarily be only the team, it can be your peers, your family, yourself. We talk about saying the inner self, finding the inner self. But when you actually, you are with the horse, you have a connect. And the most beautiful part is the blindfold activity. When you actually surrender, I actually gave it to the horse that, okay, you lead and I will follow. It is that humility which you have to bring in yourself as a true leader. So thanks Gaurav, fantastic, wonderful experience, and would like to share it with all my colleagues and my network so that more and more can get enlightened and enjoy this. Thank you.